All right. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our product and service update webinar. I'm excited to share what we've been working on the last year. So I'm Wim, the founder of TopLeft, and with me today is Matt, who's our VP of Product and Engineering. Welcome, Matt.
Hi.
And so, standard webinar. If you've got questions, post them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll get them at the end of the session. So so Matt will first cover our product updates, everything we've done in the app and what's coming up. And then I'll go through service, onboarding, customer success updates after that. So over to you, Matt.
All righty. Hey, thanks for coming to the webinar. We're very happy to share things that we've been working on. We're going to go a fair ways back, actually, because it's been a long time, I think, since we've done one of these webinars. So we're going to go back and give you a good overview of things that we've done almost in the last year, but it's by no means complete. Like, these are the highlights, and I'll tell you how you can subscribe to our announcement list at the end, where you can learn immediately about all the things that we are improving as we go. So let's start. Okay, first I've got a couple of things that are only for Autotask. Then I'm going to talk about a few things that are only for ConnectWise, and then I'll get into the things that are shared, some big things that we've added. So the big thing for Autotask is we now support showing tickets and tasks together. That is something that has been requested for years. Like, ever since we launched the Autotask integration, people have been asking us to show tickets and tasks together, and now you can. So this screenshot there is just like how it looks. I mean, it looks like a Kanban board. The difference here is these ones that are in gray there, those are the project tickets when you look at it in this sort of view. So you can differentiate them a little bit. You can also see, hey, what's the company, what project is it part of? If it has a phase, you might see it there too. But basically, it's pretty much full featured, and it is the only place that we know of, the only tool, Autotask included, the only tool that can show Autotask tickets and tasks together. You can shout it out in the chat or something if you know of some tool that can do it, but we're not aware of any tool that can actually do this, including Autotask. So if you've got teams that work on service and project stuff, which is probably most of you, then this is super valuable, because now you can get just a single pane of glass that shows you all the work that your team is doing, whether it's like the team as a whole or the individuals in the team. Pretty powerful. Okay, a couple of other things for Autotask. One is, these are just a couple of smaller things. Now, if you're looking at a board with showing your top level projects, you can split them up by the department of the projects. So if you have multiple departments, you can see very clearly what are the projects for each department. You can also show the filter your tickets by the queue that they are a part of. You couldn't do before. So that's been added. Okay, now on to some of the ConnectWise stuff. Okay, so one of the big things in the ConnectWise world, this is over I think it was about 4 or 5 months ago, we added this rich text notes. Okay, so that means that if there is an image in an existing note on a ticket, or the initial description of the ticket, then you'll see that in top left. Previously, you wouldn't have seen those images or rich text like bold and bullets and links and whatnot. So now you can see it. You can also enter it when you make a new ticket or you make a new note, time entry, whatever. Now you can enter the rich text and the images. Okay, super powerful. You just, hey, if you want a screenshot, you just Control V to paste it in there, just like in any other software. So that's going to make life especially for your technicians, a lot easier. So that's a big improvement for ConnectWise. For Autotask, we would have loved to offer this. We would have done it if we could, but Autotask's API doesn't support it, unfortunately. So there's not a lot we could do to make this work for Autotask side. If that ever changes, we will support it right away. Another thing for ConnectWise here is these alerts. So you may have seen these already. You might be familiar with seeing these alerts in ConnectWise. Sometimes you make an alert for a company if there's some specific person that you need to talk to before you start doing work on a ticket, or maybe their billing is in arrears, or it can be used for a variety of things. But you would see those in ConnectWise, and your technicians would be aware, oh, there's something special about this particular company or whatever. Now we show those in TopLeft too, so that your techs can be confident that they know the big picture about that company. They're not missing out anything by using TopLeft and not ConnectWise. So in viewing it in the ticket, it'll appear at the top of the ticket like that. Can't really miss it. And you can even see it on the card here too. That'll give you this little icon there. If there is going to be a notice like this, then you can get a little heads up to expect that, even by looking at this indicator on the cards on the Kanban board. Now, something similar like this is coming to Autotask soon. We haven't started working on it yet. It's coming up fairly soon because that's something that is available in the API, at least for most of it, in the Autotask API. So we're going to be introducing this for Autotask in the near future as well. Another thing for ConnectWise is a company site. So we added this some months ago, being able to manage the site for the company for particular tickets, because you'll have customers with multiple sites and the ticket will come in, it's particular to one of those sites. It's good to be able to manage that. So you can do it here if you are editing a particular ticket. You can change the company and then set the company site. You can also use them as a filter on your board, so you'll only see tickets from a particular company site. You can see it as a label on the card, so you don't even have to go into this editor. You can just see that right on the card on the Kanban board. And you can use it as a swim lane as well, meaning if maybe you're looking at a board for a particular company, they got a lot of sites, you can actually group them into their sites there. So it makes it really easy to see which tickets are for which sites there when you're looking at the Kanban board. Another one here is dispatching to teams. So you may have noticed this it's applicable to service tickets in ConnectWise. Now on the dispatch tab, when you're editing a ticket, you can set the team out of for ConnectWise. So if that's how you dispatch work, you don't dispatch it to an individual, you dispatch it to a team, and they kind of take it from there. Then you can do that part of your workflow from TopLeft. Okay, I think that wraps it up for the ConnectWise specific announcements. So
we should maybe just point out that this is the unified dialogue, which some people may not have seen yet. Right?
Maybe. We have had this for a while though. If that's new to you, then it's been a long time since you've been in TopLeft. So
newer for Autotask, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now we're into the announcements that are applicable to both ConnectWise and Autotask. Okay, so here we have been making a bunch of improvements to Client Portal. So this here is a screenshot of the ability now to create tickets in Client Portal. What I mean is your customers can create tickets in your ConnectWise, in your Autotask through Client Portal. It's been some time that they've been able to create new notes, but now they can even create fresh tickets. That's all optional. Okay, you can configure what they're allowed to do, of course, on those Kanban boards. If you permit it, they can make a new ticket for you. It'll always go into a certain status so that you can find those new tickets easily, and when somebody has submitted a new ticket, so you can deal with it right away. So that's pretty powerful. With regards to Client Portal and the integration to Cloud Radial, if you're using that, now you can make any of the changes that you were able to make in our built-in Client Portal. You're now able to make those same changes in the Cloud Radial version of that. Previously, the Cloud Radial one was just read-only, but we've improved it. So now Cloud Radial users can add notes, they can drag tickets if you've permitted that, drag tickets between the columns, and create new tickets like showing there. And I just want to mention, if you're not already aware, because from the licensing change we made back in December, January sort of time frame, now when you get a manager license, you also get 5 Client Portal licenses. So that's included with your manager licensing, is just bonus 5 Client Portal licenses. So hey, you can, if you subscribe to manager licenses, then you got no reason not to be using the Client Portal to communicate with your customers better. Okay, some other announcements, improvements about that are applicable to ConnectWise and Autotask. We introduced a couple of new tools. We really improved how we like onboard and provision new customers and existing customers as well. And this is part of that. Now there's a tool that you can use to check your API member permissions. So maybe you recall, if you're an existing customer, when you signed up, we had you go and make an API member, whether it's ConnectWise or Autotask. And that's the credentials that we use to get your data out of your PSA. Okay, so, until now, there's not been a good way to actually verify that you set up those permissions properly, and it's kind of finicky, right? It's easy to make mistakes there because there's a bunch of steps. So now we have this tool, and it will actually go and check that you've done it right. It'll report anything that you didn't do right, or it could be that you set this up a couple of years ago, and now we require some new permissions because we've added features and we need new types of data out of your PSA. And so it's gotten a little bit out of date. This will identify that for you as well. So that's available for the administrators in TopLeft in the settings section. I think it's under, it'll be under a button, ConnectWise API or Autotask API, I believe. And one click and it'll get you that tool, and it will tell you if there's any API permissions that are not set properly. As far as, I should say, just to be clear, it has to do with the read permissions. So because those we can check automatically. We can't easily check the writing permissions. So it's possible that if that's not set up properly, then we still might have trouble writing to your writing back to your system when people make changes in TopLeft. But that sort of problem would always be notified to the user who made that change. So you could still find out about it that way. Sort of in the same vein, we now support single sign-on. So again, one of those things that had been requested for quite some time. We have introduced the capability to do single sign-on with Microsoft Entra ID. That's the new name for Azure Active Directory, if you know it by that name. And so we have a setup instruction document. You just go and make a certain type of application in your Azure environment, and then give us the credentials for that, and you'll get a button like that on your login page, and everybody can log in with their Microsoft ID. So of course the benefit of that is you don't have to manage more passwords, you don't have to manage more password policies, and yeah, it's just easier and more secure for everybody. Another feature that we introduced was a flexible way to notify your customers. We had heard from some of our customers that their technicians wanted to be able to be really flexible in who they would notify when they were making a note or time entry on a ticket. Sometimes they wanted to notify various people at the company, like not just the contact. You know, you've been able to do something like this, you know, to check the contact, to send a message to the contact for that ticket, but sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes there's a second person that you want to notify at that company. Sometimes there's other engineers as well, not just the resources. You could do this here without too much trouble, but sometimes there's people who aren't assigned on the ticket who you know are going to be interested in whatever update you're making, and then you'd want to have a really easy way to notify them as well. So now this box here allows you to select contacts at that company of the ticket, or any of them, the technicians, or like anybody in your own company. And they will get notified of that note. And so again, stay up to date, make it easier to collaborate on those tickets. That works for both ConnectWise and Autotask. And another one, file uploads. Okay, another thing requested for a long time. You can see this. This is when you're editing a ticket, it'll show up on the Files tab. Previously, this would just show the existing attachments on the ticket, but now you can add new files. Real simple, just like it says there, drop a file or click to upload, and that'll get saved into your PSA, ConnectWise, or Autotask. And last but not least, I want to talk a bit about Gantt charts. We put quite a bit of effort into making the Gantt charts better in a variety of ways. I'm not even going to explain all the ways that we've made them better. We had just a variety of improvements, even just like things like colors, and like how does it save your state, so that, you know, if you navigate away and navigate back to the page, it's kind of saved how it looks, or improvements to scrolling. There's a variety of usability improvements like that, but some of the even bigger new things have to do with capabilities for how the data is organized on the Gantt chart. So a new function that we have now is being able to organize them by who's assigned to that ticket, whether it's a ticket or a task or a project, like an actual top level project in your PSA, and then looking at the manager, or in Autotask terms, it's like the project lead resource. So you can group them by that. If you've got multiple, of course, you're going to have multiple technicians. You might even have multiple project managers. So now it makes it really easy to see, for a certain project manager, which projects are they managing and when are those scheduled to begin and end, so that you can make it help to avoid having somebody working on too many things all at once. So, and that's what this particular screenshot is. Now that's grouped by the manager of these projects. So you can see real easily, Nicole here's got a couple of projects and these are when they are scheduled. Peter Thompson has a few projects of his own. So you can see that. And it's, as I said, it's the same sort of thing is available in the other versions of the Gantt chart that show you the project details, like the actual project tickets or project tasks. You can group those by who's assigned to those as well. So that you can see the same thing with the technicians when you're looking at it at that level of detail. Another improvement to the Gantt chart is that Gantt charts are available in the client portal now as well. So whether that's our built-in client portal or the Cloud Radio client portal, you can see those in those Gantt charts in that client portal. Another thing is exporting it to PDF. So there's a button. Yeah, actually, you can see the button there on the chart. Want to get a PDF export of that? Go ahead and one button, easy. And this might be actually one of the biggest changes to the Gantt charts is that now they're available to any license. Okay, so previously they were only available to the managers, people who had been given manager licenses. But we some customers asked for this, and we could see the case for it is that engineers might like to use Gantt charts as well. So now people with engineer and viewer licenses are able to view the Gantt charts as well. There are the structure of the Gantt chart is similar to how the Kanban boards work. Someone with a viewer or an engineer license will see the tickets that are assigned to any licensed member. If you're a manager licensed person looking at the Gantt chart, you'll see the work that's assigned to anybody. So it's basically the exact same structure as you get on the Kanban board. So you're familiar with that. But now definitely, if you are carefully scheduling your work, go ahead and let your engineers know, okay, they can look at the Gantt charts too. That might be very helpful for them. Okay, I think that wraps up the main announcements and new things that I wanted to mention. So here's a couple of things that are coming up in the next 1 to 6 months or so. One thing that we're going to introduce shortly, we're just kind of wrapping up some of that work. We're going to have kind of a launch it to some customers in the next couple of weeks, I think, is tracking of teams in TopLeft. So this isn't like Microsoft Teams. It's actually the ability to define the teams that you have working in your organization and associate technicians to those teams and managers to those teams as well. And then we can use that for a variety of things in TopLeft. One will be a new dashboard page that's coming. It's going to show kind of highlights of your work and performance of certain teams, including with some charts and reporting. That's the board metrics there, the second point that you see. So we're kind of introducing those things together, and hopefully there's some of you that I can introduce that to within the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have a more wide launch for that within the next month or so, maybe. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's also going to be important for just helping your teams identify the work that's important to them. So it's like, for example, when you get a new user, at the moment, the user needs a fair bit of training in TopLeft to know, okay, which boards are applicable to them. But with the new Teams function, then they will more immediately see. They won't need to be told explicitly. It will be more obvious in the app itself what boards are applicable to them. We are working on capacity planning stuff. So we've already begun a little bit of work on that. We're still kind of working on exactly what's the most useful stuff that we can do as far as helping you with capacity planning, because that's something that we hear over and over. People, have because you're using a PSA, you've got a pretty good collection of what are the projects and tickets that are going on, but you still are probably not certain. What does that mean for the next month, for the next 2, maybe even 3 months? Like, how much work can we sell? Or for the work that we've already sold, when can we estimate when we are actually able to start that sort of stuff? So we are planning to introduce functions to help with that sort of thing. And so we'll be introducing some new features around that. We're also going to be looking at the ConnectWise time entry standard notes, something that is pretty frequently used in ConnectWise. Autotask speed codes is basically the equivalent for that. So we're going to be looking at that sort of thing, so we can help with that. We are also working on Halo PSA and building a new integration for that. That we hope to launch sometime in November, and also a big update to basically the user interface for TopLeft. It's been quite some time since we've done a big update there. So that is in the works, and we look forward to launching the beginnings of that in November and December. So that'll just be the beginning. It's such a major change that it's not the sort of thing that we're going to be able to launch all at once. If you did, you would hate us because it's such a big change. We will make sure that the old version continues to be available as we're launching the new version and building that out. So that's just a little look behind the scenes there. It includes our most frequently requested feature, which is dark mode. So TopLeft will have a dark mode, and a variety of other things as well. One thing is a performance improvement. That's one of the things that's driving this is I should say the two main things that are driving that are kind of just a more modern appearance, make it prettier. Second is a big performance improvement, so that it's always fast and it loads fast. We know that performance is a killer feature, so you spend a lot of time in TopLeft or in your PSA, so the faster we make it, the faster you can work. So that's a couple of things that are driving that change, and we look forward to being able to offer that sometime in the November-December timeframe. And I think that's it.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Matt. I can't think of anything you missed there. So very comprehensive. Lots of good work in the last year, and picked up a lot of momentum this spring and summer. So it's pretty exciting. And we're still improving ConnectWise and Autotask while we're working on the Halo, which not that ConnectWise and Autotask users are just paused or frozen on any sort of fixes or improvements. So very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, in that regard, you mentioned accelerating a bit over the spring and summer. We may have mentioned it once or twice, but we have hired a couple of new developers, offshore developers, and so that's a big reason behind being able to introduce a lot of those features that I was speaking to is because of those new members on the team.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you. And so I'm going to go through just updates on the service, customer success, because it's the tool is very important. It's integrated to ConnectWise, but also the methodology, the mindset is really important. And so we've put more things in place there to support clients coming on with this adoption. But before I get to that, we do have a lot of webinars going on this fall. And we've had in August or July, August, September, we've had webinars and more coming up. So the recordings are all on the website, on YouTube. You can check them out. And we've got this, one paid the certification course coming up with Melvin. So an Agile certification course, deep diving into building teams where ground up, people own the work together to get projects done, service done. And so it's a certification course, and it qualifies for your PMP credits. And with project management professional designation, we had one client on a couple of weeks ago. Tennille presented on the dispatch eliminator. Judy will be coming on next month to talk about service delivery best practices. So looking forward to that. We have a user group coming up as well, and just peer group, October 8th. And we have other ones coming up on project multitasking. We'll have Steve back to present on his topic on how he improved project efficiency, profitability, 57%. So huge transformation there. And then we have one of our new partners, Sanctus, coming on to talk about the pitfalls of building and running a project management office. So looking forward to all of those. The one...
Do you want me to share my screen, or do you want to share the
I'm
slides
sharing
still?
here.
Oh, okay.
Sharing here, yeah.
Oh, you're right. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It was a seamless cutover. I snuck in there. So we launched the accelerator plan a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. And basically weekly group coaching with clients around getting more results and with their adoption with Kanban, lean principles, Agile, and TopLeft products. So it's been very helpful for those clients. They're moving quicker than other clients do in the onboard to get this rolled out to their teams, get the visuals up, getting their daily huddles going. So that's $250 a month for two champions. You can see the details there. So let me know if you're interested in that, and we'll get you signed up. And then we have the referral program, which we've relaunched. So if you are getting benefits, and a lot of our clients refer other clients to us, other MSPs, so we're grateful for that. So we pay a $250 gift card to you when they sign up. And then they also get a discount on their setup fee as well. So the link is there. It's on the website, our referral program. We've revamped our onboarding process. In the past, most clients just signed up and it was sink or swim. People would get right into the product. They'd see a board with lots of tickets or perhaps nothing, and they'd have to go and create the boards and trial and error. So now we walk you through all our recommended boards. We've got, I think it's like 6 or 7 we recommend per project and service. So we'll set those up with you. So you get a dedicated customer success specialist, and he's full-time, all dedicated to helping our clients with onboarding, any questions you got, making sure you're successful. A very detailed checklist. So this screenshot is just one sheet from this Excel checklist. I think there's another 6 or 7 covering all the training, the resources, the things you should be doing to get maximum value. So you can book a call with customer success at topleft.team/book-CSM and get that call booked. And we have the Academy. This is also we've been working on this year, is getting new and existing content in there and upgraded. So we have our Agile Bootcamp, 4 sessions on there on the basics of Agile, Agile for service, project, and engineers. Complete a ticket challenge. Again, like the subject says, is focusing on finishing tickets before you start new ones. So getting your backlogs worked through and just a high velocity on tickets and getting them done quickly. And then our 12-week implementation guide. This is, we've upgraded existing content we had with videos and visuals and slide decks to make it easier to go through. And it's like a couch, like a running plan to go from sitting on the couch, sedentary, to running 5K, is what are the bits you do every week to get there, to break it down, of where do you start with, what's one workflow to visualize, how do you get your daily huddle going, practices to get rid of stale, neglected work. So very helpful. The people who go through this get massive results. And that's all free for all of our clients. And we have the 90-day money-back guarantee. So for clients who kind of hesitant about, is this going to work for me? No reason to hesitate. We can just jump into TopLeft and this journey. And if it's not a fit, we give your money back, as long as you've done the basics on the homework of showing up for the calls, doing the basic training, and getting your people logged in to TopLeft. And then finally, the other one I'm also very excited about is our Jumpstart program. So it's a Kanban implementation project. We delivered this with one of our partners, and it's everything I showed you now is either you do it yourself or we do it with you. This is more like I'd call done for you. So coming in, assess your workflows, how are you handling projects, service, operations, dispatch, all these areas, and then and how are we going to put TopLeft and Kanban in, and then help you implement it. Look at your PSA, set up the boards, and then launch it to your team. And most importantly, get this daily huddle going. So the coach will basically be at your daily huddle, get that going to get the work unblocked and moving, and then hand it off to your team so they can run it moving forward. So hugely impactful. This is one of our clients doing this, who's got long experience doing this, knows the MSP space, knows TopLeft and ConnectWise. So if you're interested, again, let me know. That wraps us up there. Do we have any questions? I do not see any questions so far. And again, if you got questions on the product, email help@TopLeft. Questions on sales, you can email me. Everyone should have my address, wim@topleft.team or sales@TopLeft. The announcements, important to check that. Announcements.topleft.team has how to, maybe we can put that in the chat. We'll put in the video notes as well if you're watching the recording to our announcement site. Where you can subscribe. It'll send you an email, but you'll see the roadmap. You can put feature requests and see what's come out recently, all the updates. So highly recommend being subscribed there and checking that out. Announcements.topleft.team. Okay. Any questions from anyone? Right. Any closing thoughts, Matt?
No, appreciate you mentioning the announcements. I had forgotten about that, the announcement site. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to the new things that are going to be introduced. I think at this time in the next 4 to 6 months, TopLeft is going to be very different. So watch this space. We'll do more of these, and we've got big plans.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
All right.